Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Manga and Anime Podcast. This is Manga Monday, hot off the presses, as we have been and will be. I'm here with my man, Luke Hollywood. What up, Luke?
What up, Jim?
What up? And Luke has been chomping at the bit to get to this one. This is one of your favorite new books. You are in love with it. You told me that if I say it's less than a 10 out of 10, you quit. And I said I could use the break. Yes, I do like it. I'm not a 10 out of 10 like you, but I do like it. But before we get into RuriDragon, we will end up sending people over to the Twitter at Weird Manga. If you follow us, we'll follow you back 100%.
Whoa.
Then you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Weird Science Manga, where we have early access to our Manga Monday show. We have about 9 shows that are waiting in the wings. We have a lot of hot off the presses coming up.
Bangers.
They're kind of hot off the presses. They're not as hot because you were on your holiday, and we are recovering from that, including starting this week, getting back to the manga reading club. So we'll be back to doing all of those as well. But yeah, this is Manga Monday. This is hot off the presses. And what is it, Luke?
This is the fiery hot off the presses because there's dragons involved. Oh my goodness.
You're dragging me down.
This
is that a joke?
Flame on, Jim, as they do say. How to Train Your RuriDragon. Written and drawn by Masaoki Shindo. First published in Weekly Shonen Jump number 28 back in 2022, which is this year. So only a few weeks back, not too old. Still lukewarm off the presses, you might say.
Luke Hollywood warm.
Oh my goodness, bada big. So, we have Masaoki Shindo, previously, kind of like last week with Aliens, Aries, and Fusai Naba. Previous work has only been a couple of one-shots, but the interesting thing is, one of them one-shots was a RuriDragon related one-shot last year in Jump Geiger. So this is, coming back to the drawing board with a crispy idea and going to the full serialization. Bada big. Kind of like what they did with Blue Box, if you remember back in the day.
A lot of them. We had a bunch when we first started that you had those one-shots that never even came to the West, that we had no idea what they were, and then they end up expanding it. And, this is a hit.
Now,
you ended up sending me stuff.
I'm not going to toot my own horn before we get into the big hit, but I'm not going to toot my own.
And goes the dynamite.
I'm just saying, I might have went on a
you
website.
Might have set this up, and
I might have had to look at that one shot and see what was cooking over there.
Did you?
Oh,
but it wasn't translated. Luke.
I don't
What's
know
going
what
on?
You're implying.
How is this going on?
Spicy.
I don't understand.
Oh my goodness!
But damn, I guess that's the thing. If you are somebody who goes to the Manga Plus site, where we go to a lot, obviously, me and you both have subscriptions to the Shonen Jump app, which we love. We like to push, but we also push the Manga Plus deal as well. And they have just had a survey of, a bunch of things. And one of the things is, hey, do you ever go and do pirated stuff and whatnot? But they were smart in what they were doing, because they do that. It didn't seem like that. Like, I thought to myself, like, what are they up to? What is this? It reminds me of when you end up having like guys and they're not paying child support. And all of a sudden you win this lottery that you never entered, and you're supposed to go to the police station to collect your deal. You show up and the cuffs go on. I thought but they were smart about it, because they did want to know. And it ended up making me think this is a good play. They want to know why people, if they do end up pirating, why do they do it? Because it's not just, hey, I don't want to pay. I'm not going to pay, because if you are that way, especially with the manga and especially with stuff on Shonen Jump, like, really? Like, you don't want to pay that $1.99? Like, the big thing with manga, though, is, like you said, you end up having this RuriDragon come out, and a lot of people, they need more. They want more. They go, oh my God, what was this? And it wasn't translated. That was one of the options. That legitimately was one of the things in that. I'm sure you clicked it, because you're sus, is what I say. But all of this going, you end up having this being a hit. You ended up also sending me, some info, and it is getting read a lot. I mean, more than the average deal. Way more, like double. It said what they usually get in a Manga Plus or whatever. You end up where this is going through the roof.
Over 2 million views on the first chapter alone. That is big numbers.
You love it.
I
like
love it. I want to stick it on the fridge.
I like it. And you have obviously kept up with it. I have not, because I am not reading anything at the moment.
4 weeks, 4 bangers. Let's do the RuriDragon reading club, everybody.
My big deal. I sent you the deal. I'm like, we're going to do the RuriDragon reading club. You're like, I'm in. I'm like, okay. If you could just wake up for the others, then we will all be talking. But you start out here and you're introduced to the main character. Before you could guess that it's Ruri, but she's there. She's brushing her teeth, and then she looks because she's got horns that kind of look like blades. That kind of look like she's going to shiv somebody in the yard. It really looks dangerous to me. This horns to me, there's a ram with horns, or you have, that sort of deal. These are more blade-like, but
these are spikes.
Yeah, what do I know? I mean, I've never seen a dragon.
Indeed.
And she's like, huh. The funny thing is the reactions from most of the people are not very reactionary. Like, she ends up where, what the heck? As you go into this, she's still, doing this. Now, I will ask you from this page, and then the other one when she's talking to her friend Yuka, and hey, anything else manifest? I mean, anybody realizing she's got vampire teeth? I mean, she really has pointed teeth.
All the girls have them these days. That's just natural.
A lot of times when I see that in any manga, they're like a cat type person or something like this. I'm like, I don't know. Looks like you got some dragon fangs as well. But she says, huh, what the heck? And right there, she's cute as a button.
Gem.
You could say that right away.
Page 1.
Yeah, and I think that's the play here, because you do get these 2 color pages to go in, as we do usually, and you're not getting a stylized fancy deal. You're not getting something that
is like the most normal, everyday color page you could ever see. Like, there's no big explosions. We're not seeing 50 different characters. This is just a girl and some horns.
And you see that she's kind of cute. Like, just a nice, cute little girl who's brushing her teeth. So you're like, okay, let's see what this is. And you go off then, and her mom comes in, and, there's Ruri. Hey, Mom, check this out. I got horns. Like, oh, man, what are those? And that's the weird play. The mom is sus from page 1 that she gets on here. She goes, oh, yikes, what are those? She knows damn well what those are, Luke. She knows what she did.
The day has come.
The weird play of this through this is she gives information only after...
There's a big question, a very big question. That is maybe going to be RuriDragon After Dark. I don't know how that's going to be explained.
When this is going, she only gives the slight bit of info. Some of the info she gives after the fact, where it should have been told and never was. But also the
you gotta
deal
be on
where
Front Street about stuff like this. At
one point, if I'm Ruri and my mom says, "Oh, that makes sense. Your dad's a dragon." Now, as we progress through this chapter, you never see a dad. It doesn't seem like she knows her dad. We finally learn this. Like, at one point, I thought it was going to be almost like a Teen Wolf. Like, hey, your dad's a dragon. No, he isn't. I saw him. He just left for work. He's a businessman. Like, no. Oh, no. That's not his true form. That's not the case here. The dad has never been around.
For all we know, he's like a legit dragon.
A dragon. She must have went camping or something on that mountain. That's mountain going on. I don't know what she did. But you end up having Ruri like, check this out. Oh, my God. What are those? Yikes. Oh, don't say yikes. But and you end up, the mom seems to want to see what Rory's going to say first before she gives any information. Oh, did those grow where you're sleeping? How did I know I was sleeping? Oh, good point. And then Rory says, any thoughts? And the mom says, I think they're horns. Like, that's all she says. And yeah, I kind of said that. And I like Rory, nothing gets past you. I mean, really? And she said, why did they pop out? The mom, again, should be saying, well, I kind of did sleep with a dragon. We kind of
It's almost like she's testing the waters with her own daughter.
Or she just wants to, not tell, and maybe this will just pass on by. But it's not, she has horns.
This ain't getting passed on by.
No. And she says, it could be half of you isn't human. And Roy's like, what? And the mom goes, well, see, your dad's not a human being.
Here's your toast.
Time out. Let's start talking about this. What the heck does that mean, Mom? It's one thing to say, what are you talking about? And you end up where, well, I'm guessing that's why. Your dad has horns, so now you do too. Here's your toast. And I'm like, that looks pretty good toast.
That's
like,
big
Denji would really be liking that.
He's going to stick the marmalade on top of that.
It does look good. It looks really good. But now I want toast. But why is it that manga tries to make toast a thing? That toast was even a thing in, torture. Tis torture.
Toast is a big thing.
Like, why? But you end up where the mom says, it's like, genetic. The mom is not giving the info that we need here.
No.
I'd be like, Mom, what do you mean I'm not half human? Well, that's genetics. No. I'm back up.
She's being very ambiguous when, this is the time to be on Front Street.
Yeah. And the funny players, you are doing really, they're trying to push this idea. This is a slice of life, normal deal. A little girl there, she's eating her toast, get ready for school. But they're talking about this dragon as if that's not a thing either. That I got horns. Oh, you're like half not human. What?
More importantly, breakfast,
Yeah. And then she ends up saying, like, what kind of horns are these? Like, what the heck were you sleeping with?
Oh, boy.
Oh, those are, Ryu horns. Huh? What do you say? Ryu, a dragon. And then Ruri says, come again. I'm like, well, that's what the dragon said. I don't want to get too sassy.
Oh, my
The mom says, like, that's
breakfast.
A dragon. And then you end up, I wasn't asking for this is a weird conversation with this mom.
I do like right from the get-go, it feels very, natural. The whole conversation, even, we talk about manga being over the top sometimes. We could have had RuriDragon. If they were going for the straight-up comedy gag manga route, she, her eyes pop out of her head as soon as she sees these horns, She's going to drop that toast all over the floor. Oh,
well,
geez.
She better not, because the toast is actually transformed into about an 8-foot freaking block. Do you see that thing?
Toast.
Also, I see those fangs. I'm telling you.
They need for the toast.
Nobody's noticing. That's why she was brushing. But yeah, it says, har. Hey, I'm not laughing, because you end up, her mom says, you're half human, half dragon because your dad's a dragon. And she's like, what? You're just kidding. No, I'm not joking. How else would you get the horns? She's right. The idea that you say, oh, my God, that dragons aren't real. Well, you do have horns. There's something going on here.
There's something there.
And oh, well. And then the mom starts with, this is the way. I thought about telling you this a bunch of times, but I didn't. It did seem like I didn't want to force the issue, whatever. Now, without seeing everything for her growing up and whatnot, we don't know at this point. Is the dad around? Is he a dragon? Is this something that's... But we find out the dad's never been around, but I guess that Rory's just rolled with the punches, never really asked about it. It seems like she's never really thought of well, who is my dad? What's he like?
It was always just those two.
Just the two. And that really is played out for the deal of that's it. It's those two. They never did this. The mom was going to bring it up, but again, I'm sure that how we're playing this, the mom is a little embarrassed that she ended up having sex with a big giant lizard dragon. That's just me.
I don't know how it'd be going on in the mountains,
I don't know. And so maybe, though, that when you end up where, oh, man, I should tell her about her dad. She's growing up. It's not something that a little girl's going to understand anyway. And she probably just I won't say anything until she asks.
It got to a stage where, how do you bring it up? You know?
And then you're too far. This is where me and Eric were talking on the one podcast we did, where you end up having a friend and you don't realize that, oh my God, their anniversary was 2 days ago.
Uh-oh.
Everybody already said happy anniversary on Facebook and Twitter.
Uh-oh.
You just avoid it then. You can't go 2 days later and, hey, happy anniversary. You're like, just maybe they didn't notice. But yeah, she kind of says, and there's this weird play where, hey, you going to go to school? Or he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go to school. I don't see why not. And then the mom says, okay, well, go up to school. What? You're going to make me go? She really, I think, wanted the mom to say.
You want the parents' excuse. Yeah, you stay at home today, Ruri.
Right? Yeah, but she's going to go off, and then Rory, everything comes back again. So what you're saying is, my dad's really a dragon? And the mom's like, yep, sorry, gotta go. And just leaves it. It's so weird.
She doesn't even give her daughter time to process it. And it's only just when it's kind of all, because she could still be half asleep. She's nibbling on that toast. And when it starts all crashing down, then she's like, I'm out. See you later.
Yeah, hey, see you later. Hey, and he doesn't give her a hug because she doesn't want to get shivved.
Oh,
you don't know what's going to happen.
Shank
but
City.
Then, yeah, when she goes, there's little things when you read it the second time or whatnot, you'll see where she did put on the wrong shoes.
Ooh.
You end up where he goes, oh my God, she didn't wear her usual shoes. She wore the hiking or the running shoes. That is odd to Ruri, but she's got to go.
A few years ago as well.
Yeah, really. I mean, that was when she was knocking the boots.
Oh my God.
She was wearing the boots. You end up where Ruri's like, well, I guess I got to go. Yuka, my friend's already waiting. Let's go. And then she's going off and she seems a little concerned, but just saying like, I wonder if anybody's going to notice.
It is what it is.
And yeah, you would expect people would go nuts. And in the roundabout way, I would guess that at some point, some people are going to start asking questions about the mother. I mean, that's where I would go right away.
Not to point fingers, but there's something going on there, too.
There's something going on, but she ends up going. You said she should wear a hat, but I'm guessing you're not allowed with the uniform and things.
Like,
I would wear a hat at least to school and then take it off.
We're looking at, like, these are pretty sharp. Like, when she's putting on the blazer and the shirt, even when they put on the tie, like, what happens there? Is it going to rip up stuff?
And that's what's funny when you said if you were going to go full out and this was gag manga, she would have ripped all her clothes up. She definitely would have. She would have started, like, going and shampooing up and cutting her hands and stuff, like weird stuff. But, yeah. She goes off and she meets with her friend, and Yuka is kind of cool. I like Yuka. Yuka rolls with everybody rolls with the punches there. I mean, Yuka's like, "Hey, what's up? You got horns, huh?" She goes,
get on the bus.
She goes, "So the horns? Like really? Yeah." And they're trying to get to school. They're like, "Yeah, I just woke up with these." "Oh, no way. You feeling okay?" I'm like, "Well, you better check on those fangs." And she's like, "Yeah, I guess so. All right, let's go." Yuka's just like, hey, you're my friend. Let's get going. And
let's get going.
That's kind of the funny deal where I think that maybe, like you said, I didn't even think about the idea that this could really have turned to a gag manga within seconds. You really could have, but they want to avoid that. So they are avoiding it at all costs.
Every time a new person is introduced, like you could crank up that over the top. What the heck is that? But because they are playing it so cool. So down to earth, that showcase and that is like we are going the slice of life route the whole way. No, not that it isn't. It still has the jokes, but it's not revolving around the jokes.
And I think that when you have this, I guess you're supposed to think, oh my God, are they going to make fun of her? You have all these ideas, but they don't. I mean, people love her, but I mean, just me, I'm such a hack that I'd end up writing it and then, hey, Yuka, I'm over here, and some kid would be kicking a soccer ball right there. Deflates the ball. It's done. That was the only ball he had. Soccer team's canceled. You end up where they go and Yuka's talking. So they just sprout it out of your head. Yep. And she says, apparently I'm not 100% human. And that doesn't even like phase Yuka. She's like, oh man. And then you have Ruri say, do you think dragons really exist? And Yuka says, no. But I mean, what is it then? I mean, what would be the deal if you're sitting there? And I think the play is, she's like, do you think my mom's telling the truth? Are they real? Like, what else do you think you are? If it's not that, you're like a demon child or something like that. I can't even come up with anything else but a demon that you would be. But, whatever. But they're cool with it. Yuka's there and, they think about this new look. Everybody wants to touch them. Everybody wants to see all this. And then Yuka, I guess, thinks it's still a joke. Like, yeah, they really are a part of you, aren't they? Like, yeah, they're horns. But they go into class. Everybody ends up saying, hey, good morning. And you get this idea. First off, she doesn't talk to many boys at all.
No.
I mean, she is really against.
She's not big on the chit-chats.
That's that age, too, with her. But she doesn't have it doesn't seem like she has a ton of friends. And she really doesn't like the attention. But you end up where everybody wants to see what's going on.
I mean, if something like this walked in right before homeroom, you better believe they want to know what's going on.
Yeah, and people aren't like, oh man, look at the horny guy. Like, they're not making jokes. It's not a gag deal. They're like, oh man, that's so cool. That's it. And then you get, whoa, what's up, girl? What's with her? I love that guy. He's my favorite. He goes, what's with the horns, girl? And then you end up, she says, don't call me girl. Oh, my bad. I like that too.
He's not going to stop there, though.
Yeah, really. He keeps doing it. But then you get the teacher comes in. Homeroom teacher, it seems, their sensei.
Most chill teacher
he's
of all
so
time.
Chill. He seems sus. he seems like he knows a little something because he ends up like, hey, okay, you want to explain this? Oh, well, I woke up and they were there, these horns. Okay, well, it's not a fashion thing. No, it's just what I'm doing. I'm not making a fashion statement. Are you okay? Is there anything bad about this? Do you want to talk? Whatever. And she's like, no, I'm okay. And this is where you get this, man, this guy is like easy peasy. This guy does not let anything, nobody lets anything upset them in this.
Roll with the punches.
But she ends up saying, is he open-minded or is he just lazy and lackadaisical? She doesn't know, but he seems to want to talk about it. Like, I don't know if this is just because he's a nice guy, but he's like, well, we could talk about it if you have any problems, whatnot. I don't know what's up with him. I think he might be a dragon hunter.
If this was Gangbanga, he would be #1 dragon hunter. Exterminate all dragons.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody, though, is like really interested in this. She's ending up, she doesn't want the attention, but everybody's real nice. They want to touch it. They want to take selfies. I mean, everybody wants a picture with her as she's going through the day. And there's just crowds and crowds of people just sitting around her trying to get pictures and all that. At one point, you end up where everybody in the class is in this one big selfie where the teacher then turns, hey, what's going on here? Oh, man, we want to get pictures and they're real. And he's like, hey, save some for me, baby. He's like, he wants to get involved too. And it's like, really, it's nice. It's wholesome. This ends up making me giggle at points because you're expecting bullying and there's not. You're expecting, somebody to be the person who's the most miserable is Ruri, who just doesn't know what's going on and is probably thinking that whole deal of her mom and a dragon. But yeah, you end up where they go to lunch and you end up having Yuka there and you go from here because, they end up, she says, a lot of people wanting to talk to me that I never talked to. I'm exhausted, but Yuka's like, is that horrible? I mean, is that a bad thing, right? Yuka is a gem.
Maybe the real friends we made were the horns along the way.
Maybe. You go from there because they're eating strawberries and stuff. Looks pretty good.
Do you want one of my strawberries? She says, watch out on them pointy teeth.
That's when I saw the teeth the first time. I'm like, holy crap, she's a vampire. Boy. She's the vampire dragons. But you go from there.
But they're all having the lunch and then they're chatting away. And you get the idea that Yuka and Ruri, they've kind of been friends for a long time. Like these are the childhood friends. That's why Ruri's so comfortable with her. Comfortable enough to show off the horns straight away, I suppose. But now, and you get the idea as well that Yuka's the more outgoing of the pair. And she's kind of wanting Ruri to come out of her dragon shell, if you will. Now is the time. We're in high school now. Maybe you should start chit-chatting and getting to know more people, and maybe the horns.
Maybe the boys.
And maybe the horns are going to be your gateway to that. Who knows? But no, she's not interested in that. She just wants to eat the strawberries. Chase Louise.
And a hoagie. Look at that thing she's eating. I'm like, holy moly, right?
And the bread game in this manga is off the charts.
It is.
It's on. Well, as we see, they are just getting down to business, and she's trying to think about all that's going on here. Like, we only have the horns. What else has she got? What has she inherited from Dad on the Mountain, the big dragon? Who knows?
Yeah, we're gonna find out about that.
And you almost get a hint because you do see like she's chowing down on that hoagie. She's about to, and then she feels a sneeze coming on. Achoo, she does it into her sleeve. Very responsible in the modern times. And you're thinking, it's just a normal sneeze. Nothing crazy is going to happen. There's not going to be any fireworks.
When the mom starts talking about it when she was born, she's like, yeah, we were kind of surprised you were born. You just looked human, so we didn't go. And with the horns, you are expecting that's it. Right? Okay, she got horns. To me, it's almost like, My Hero, the quirk. And all of a sudden, there is no, the mom didn't say, oh, that's weird. You're not supposed to manifest anything after a certain age. This is pretty much, untreaded ground. I don't know that a lot of people are making busy with the dragon.
How many boxes are we ticking here?
Yeah, and so she ended up like almost saying like, oh, well, that's cool. You're more human, you got the horns. And then when you end up having Yuka say, anything else wrong? Do you feel weird? Whatever. I'm like, well, you check those fangs. But she says, no, I had nothing really else. Then you're like, okay, what's going on? Because once you say that, there's trouble. But she starts feeling ill. But you could go back to you doing that. She starts to not feel that well.
And this
and
is
maybe it's the attention, but it's not.
well, it's been a very stressful day for poor Ruri. All the selfies take up a lot of energy. So she's snoozing in class. Now, we don't know if this is a regular thing for Ruri. This could just be what Ruri does. The teacher doesn't seem very impressed, and then Yuki's pretty quick on telling her where we're going on the pages. So it seems like, or one of the other girls in class is anyway.
But again, she's getting like help from other people. Like you kind of get that play that people are now
nice to her. People are like, maybe it's not a two-way street, but at least there's no animosity there. At least. But so she starts reading it. She's very groggy. Just reading it, and then she feels another bit of a sneeze coming on, and this one is a little bit more explosive than the last one. Well, first of all, she sneezes right into her English book, which is just disgusting. I mean, she's gonna have the snots all over the words, and then she's gonna have a little something else, because then we get in the next page, and boom, this is quite the fiery double-page spread.
Yes,
oh my goodness!
I think that's hey girl. I think that's girl guy.
You think that's him?
I think it is.
Oh no,
because he was kind of in front there, and it's funny because the guy that I really thought was cool was the guy with the blonde hair, which I thought was the girl guy at first, but it is the black-haired guy who was sitting in front. I think that this is, what up, girl? Like, all of a sudden, he's
in the blast zone.
Oh, my God. He's like one of my Michael Jackson in the Pepsi commercial. I don't even know if anyone knows what that is.
That's old people commercials.
Yeah, it is old. But yeah, she ends up, it is fiery indeed. And everybody's just screaming. And the funny play is then she's got flames still coming out of her mouth. All these things going on. She has completely burned her book.
That book was fired, Jim. Oh, boy.
Because it's black and white in here, there is this weird play that you don't really get right away, that she's also just bleeding all over the place. When you turn, you see it. At there, Yuka goes to help her and is like, oh, my God, are you okay? And goes, I thought she had burned her hands. I thought those, but it's actually blood. And there's just blood coming. And it's a weird thing for me to say, the layers or the smart deal and something like this, because it is a wholesome deal. It's nice, but her throat's not ready to be dragon throat. And I'm telling you, that's horrific.
It goes very dark here just for this section.
And in my mind, I think that she's in big, big trouble, but they play it off. It must have already been doing something that, like, this is the idea of like just molten lava in your throat. You might die. I mean, this is
all up in your nostrils.
Yeah,
too,
and it's all just, she's bleeding, but I think that she's able to, withstand it a bit. I mean, she's half dragon, right? Then they take her to the nurse and they call her mom. And it's a weird play here because she completely passes out. And I don't know. She's like, oh, my goodness. And maybe that's the sight of blood. Maybe she's all that combined, but she passes out. They take her to the nurse, sus nurse, we'll find out. But they call her mom, and her mom comes running in, and her mom keeps saying, oh, my God, I'm sorry it took me so long. I'm sorry. I'm like, I didn't get what was happening at that point, and I thought, man, you are a jerk, Mom. Like, what was she there? Like, oh, what? My daughter's in trouble? Well, looks like I'm going to have to go later. Like, she's at her work. She's like, no way am I leaving work right now. But she wasn't at work.
But even like at first, the way that it cuts, because we get like, this is the scene transition, and the way it cuts straight to her mom running down the hallway, we don't know if this is the hospital. We don't know if it's still in the school. We don't know the severity of what's going on. And then it gets pretty chill pretty quick.
Yeah. You end up where the nurse and Ruri are exchanging friend info on their mobile game. Everybody's just so nice.
They're playing the Angry Birds.
Right. Yeah, and so you end up there where the mom goes, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, and in this deal of like, nobody seems to bat an eye. Hey, I hear my daughter shot fire from her mouth. So they tell me. That's the nurse.
It is what it is.
Yeah. And then like, oh, really? I'm sorry I couldn't get here sooner. Are you okay, Ruri? And she keeps saying that. Like, I didn't get here sooner, and I didn't get what was happening. We do find out. But they're like, okay. And Ruri says, do I look okay, Mom? I mean, seriously. And then says, of course, the fire breath thing, not great, since you don't have a dragon's throat yet. So she knows some things, but she also talks that she did go and talk to the dad. That's what we're going to find out. I don't know that she knew that before this morning.
No way. I don't think she would have sent her into the school.
I think that she ended up where the dad has filled her in on some things, but she still doesn't seem really big on giving out info, but says, okay, sorry I took so long. Apologize for the trouble. I'll take her home. And then, yeah, you're like, it's fine. Like, oh, everybody's so nice and whatever.
But you do get the idea here with this panel of Ruri. Ruri's not happy. She's definitely not happy.
Yeah, and now it's coming to play of, why didn't you tell me? What else do you know? What's going on with me? Horns, one thing. Now I'm sneezing and I almost killed a kid. They even say as they're leaving, she has no idea. The funny play is they're at the school, it seems, right? And then they end up like, I don't know if I burnt the... Well, you kind of know. You just went to the school and they're like, hey, everything's fine.
Nurse's office as well.
Yeah,
right?
Really. Because, the girl guy, I think he's got his hair. I'd sue if I'm him. That's just me. That's kind of a jerk
He's going to need a hat too. Oh, no.
But yeah, they're like, hey, did the classroom go up in smoke? No, just the back of the kid's head. I like that. Just the back of the kid's head who sits in front of me. Oh, okay, that's fine.
No biggie. It's no problem.
Need a haircut is the deal. Yeah, and like, hey, she goes, oh, no harm. No harm, no foul. And then Rory goes, there's definitely some harm.
Big harm.
This is nonsense. And she needs to know, why didn't you tell me about this? And well, I really don't have any idea about it. I didn't know myself. You're a dragon, but you came out kind of deal. It was a secret. All that stuff going on. And she says, I'm sorry. It wasn't fair. I should have told you. But, now we're going to have a talk about it. And she says, who knew those pointy things would pop right out of your noggin? She's really loose on this.
They're all pretty lackadaisical, as they said.
And she said, really, it freaked me out. When you walked in, I got freaked out. I did go and, talk to your dad. The idea of she says, dragons are bizarre creatures, I guess. It all just caught me off guard. Ended up when you came out, you were more human looking. So I thought that this wouldn't be the case and all that. She keeps saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she said, I couldn't find the right way to tell your dad's a dragon. It's just, I don't care. And so this whole deal, the issue was, the dad, and that's where Rory says, I don't care about my dad. I just want to know what's going on with me. I want to know what's there. It's been me and you my whole life. You kept a secret. I feel like you kind of betrayed me. But she finally, like I said, I went to go talk to your dad. I went to go talk to the dragon. She looks, her shoes are all messy because she had to go off deep in the mountains, which I'm sure we'll get to at one point. Told your dad what was, I like this is like, I told your dad what was going on. And he was thrilled. And we're really? That's my baby girl, he said. I'm like, I want to see this dragon and see how crazy it is. But he says, he's glad that you're growing up. And yeah, he taught me everything there is to know about dragons. So I know what's going on. I did my homework. She's so proud of herself. I know what to do. I can end up helping you out. Well, come on, Mom. Give us some info here. Let's see what's going on. But you go, because we're just about to end here, where they find out that the class is okay. Weird thing with that picture that they sent, and the mom's just like, oh, that's great. You're laughing. That's great. And then I'm getting out of here.
I like that. You see, this I thought was a nice way because and I'll tell you, the first time I don't know if it's just because of like the laid back attitude that this whole chapter, the ending of this chapter hit me like a freight train. I was like, oh, it's just done. Like I was like, what? I felt like we were on page 20. You know what I mean? Which is probably a sign of a good chapter. But I thought this was a very nice way, not an epic moment, but just a nice kind of wrap up because Ruri's had a day here. Clearly, there's been a lot going on, a lot of nonsense, and at the end of it all, she gets the text from Yuka. Yuka's telling her that oh, it's all good. Girl guy,
girl guy Yoshioki,
even he's okay.
He's okay.
So everybody's fine. The classroom survived, and then she got a pic from one of the other girls during the big selfie saga right before lunch. And then they're all...
So is this like Rory's coming out of her dragon shell? Is that what you're taking? Like, because she laughs. It's just a weird comment. She goes, it's nothing to do with the horns.
But that's nice, though. For the first time...
But is that her being happy now? Because everybody...
She's smiling. She's got the smile. That's the first time she's been smiling. But I'm telling you, the real friends were the horns we made along the front. And this is going to be the Kobe can't communicate, but with the horns instead.
The dragon can't selfie Kate. Is that what it is?
This is going to be one high school girl's saga of friendship. Oh, and also some dragon stuff along the way.
And the thing that gets me upset is this is the classic stuff of, any sort of media like this where, well, you're going to tell me about the dragons, Mom? Well, that's tough to say right here. Let's talk a little over dinner. I'm like, come on, let's go. But it does look like in the way, you have the Death Note, you got the Dragon Note, you got the thing where she's writing down. I like that it's not that complicated. She's just writing down how she has changed a little. Horns, flame breath, boom, 1, 2. So we'll have to see.
Does it all on the tin.
Then the mom is like, hey, what's going on? What do you want to eat? And she says, oh, curry. And she says, oh, what? Won't that hurt your burned throat? And that's a weird line to end on, right? It's very odd. Oh, that's what your father liked. But I don't think she really knows anything about the dad. I think this is like just some wacky one-night stand or something.
I don't know what happened that night on the mountains, but now we got RuriDragon.
And you are caught up. I think there's 4 chapters of now. Have we seen the dad yet?
We ain't seen the dad yet.
I have a feeling there's going to be some weird play of like there's some festival, some sort of holiday or something where dragons once a year. There's definitely a lot
more going on to meet the eye with
I
this
think that
dragon.
like once a year a dragon can kind of look like a human, ends up hooking up there, and
little
that was that.
On the mountain.
I doubt we're going to see like a big giant dragon doing the nasty.
I don't know. I don't know if they can put that in the magazine.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I think that there might be something else, but we'll have to see. And yeah, you'll want to see when Rory goes and, hey, can I go talk to my dad? Can I see what's going on? That's pretty interesting. I don't know if it gets to a point. Well, the thing that worries me about these things are the idea like you could go, okay, Yuka, friend forever. Now all of a sudden you end up having Rory. She's so popular with that. Now we get the Teen Wolf deal. And I'm saying the movie with Michael J. Fox, where all of a sudden everybody wants to be the friend and Yuka gets left behind. Even like a Can't Buy Me Love, old people's movies as well. That could be, or like I said, I don't need any dragon hunters coming into town. We don't need that, right?
Just the pure potential in school shenanigans alone, and not even gag manga school shenanigans. As you see, just like the drama, the highs and lows of high school girl life, Jim. I'm telling you, it is limitless. We are on a roll
and
here.
I don't mind if she just keeps getting more dragon powers, but she's just going to school and doing her thing. And then we just, kind of have fun with it. It is one of those things by the end, I think they really are pushing the idea where you have to read this with that idea that this isn't bothering anybody. The idea she has horns is not bothering it. Hey, those horns, they think it's cool, but it's not like, oh my God, you freak, burn her at a stake. Like people are okay with it in this. So you're kind of okay with it and you kind of get past that. And I want to know more about Rory, and this could lead to some cool even feels with the dad and stuff like that, where she's said, I don't care about my dad, but, maybe that's not the case. Maybe she will end up,
once she learned that her dad's, got the fire breath and the dragon horns and all that, maybe that changes the tune
it's a weird
little.
play. I mean, the idea, it doesn't seem like the mom would have talked anything about the dad, so what did she think? What was she done? I'm interested to see all that stuff. And the art's really good. It's
great.
nothing that is like, oh my God, the spread page with this and that. And it's just everything looks great and the character designs look cool. I do like, the girl guy. And I like the blonde haired kid too, that kind of pops up with that guy. They could be the gossip boys in this. I don't mind that.
I feel like he was one of the first ones. Like that teacher could be gossip. Like
I think that teacher's up to something. I think he knows a little more.
Nurse is big time sus. There's something I don't know what.
I mean, we might end up with weird stuff here of like people watching out for her and that. Who knows? I mean, she's half dragon. We'll have to see.
Oh my goodness!
What would you give it?
Oh. Well, I think it's a banger. I mean, I haven't made my opinion
and boom goes the
at all. I love this. I'm telling you, this is the best new chapter we've had this year. I'm putting it all out. I'm telling you, this is book of the year material, Jim. I'm telling you, this is something we've not had in the magazine. We've had gag manga, we've had action.
You are going heavy on this.
I'm telling it. No, I'm telling it. I'm telling it. This could be a game changer. You see the way there's a reason it's doing numbers. This is something fresh. This is something new. This is something that people want.
It is one of those things where I'm sure that somebody's already thought like, they'll say that I'm not, I'm mistaken. The idea that some of these other ones that popped up, they did feel like they were trying too hard to be something else that was already out, and this one does feel
look
like
at last week. Look at Aliens Area when it was the Men in Black manga. It was pull tooting the horn of everything that came before. This is something playing its own tune, Jim. This is something fresh.
And it is something that isn't like anything on the Shonen Jump app right now.
This is Manga Plus. This is a Jump Plus joint. It's very surprising that this is in the magazine at all, because this
some
is
of the
pure
stuff
slice of
like
life.
this, like a fight, like they have some hits. We said that the Jump Plus we really enjoy. So yeah, it keeps coming. But what's your score, Luke?
Well, if this is the beginning of this kind of revolution now, because we've been seeing Jump Plus has been where it's at for a while. We've seen with Spy Family, even some of our favorites like the Don't Blush,
Spy Family, Don't Blush. Yes, a lot of these.
Time for Torture Princess. These kind of wholesome slice of life. If this is going to be what's going to be in the front pages of the big hitter, if this is going to be in your weekly Shonen Jump, and you're getting this every week alongside the likes of your My Heroes and the likes of your Jujutsu Kaisens and all that good stuff, this is going to be paving the way for a very different magazine, but something that I think is going to be doing very big numbers in the future. And I can't wait. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm going to read all the chapters. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10, Jim.
A 10 out of 10.
Goodness.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Even there, I'm going through the Jump Plus stuff. Dan to Dan, Magi Lumiere.
Yep.
We got a bunch of the new things that we're going to be doing
fresh.
the next couple of weeks. Ayakeshi got put there from the magazine, got put in there that we do like. And then some of these new ones that we'll be doing, the hot off the presses. We have a bunch of hot off the presses coming up. A bunch of them are the Jump Plus stuff that we really enjoy. And there was that big announcement that the Manga Plus is going to start carrying more of the chapters and things like that coming up I think it might be next year that they said, 2023.
2023,
yeah, which that's a while from now, but still, it's really exciting that we're going to get more things translated, more things going. So yeah, with that, if you are there and you are kind of bored with the, stuff that is on the Jump or Manga, what am I saying? Shonen Jump app. Like you have the app, you like the stuff, but you can go over and check out some of the other stuff on the Manga Plus app.
If you like the feel of this, definitely check. There's a lot of similar vibes.
We said before, the Jump Plus stuff ends up being the stuff that it might be a little too risky, maybe, to put it in the magazine, or at least they thought at one point, but you end up getting more variety.
Like if this is doing the numbers now, suddenly it's opening a lot of doors of possibility.
When I see people talking about their favorite manga, and I one of them, me and you, it perplexes us a bit, but Spy Family and Kaiju number 8 are almost always on people's list, and that's where they're coming from as well. So that's a big deal. And like we said, when we first started all this together, Don't Blush Sakeme-san was something that we were pushing towards a lot of people.
Huge.
But yeah, even if you slip my mouth, you love that. I think that this is RuriDragon has taken the place in your heart there. But, and you have other things. I'm looking, there are some duds, but,
they're not all
that's going to happen. But a lot of them, though, as I go through here, a lot of them are really cool. Now, one thing that I wish they ended up doing here, because I'm on the Manga Plus app looking, where you have the Jump Plus and you go, I wish that they would put the title names underneath so I could see exactly, because some of these, I don't know the titles of the new ones. And they just have it like, the covers. But
well, you're going to know soon, Jim.
Yeah, because we'll be hot off the presses for the next month. We have a bunch of stuff coming out, some one-shots that it came out, some new series, stuff like that. So tune in for that, but also tune into the manga reading clubs that we end up. We're going to start those up. If you're listening to this as it drops on Monday, we'll be starting right back up with My Hero on Tuesday, and then go forward with all the ones back to regular schedule. So yeah, I'm a 9, you're a 10 for this. You want to start the RuriDragon reading club? We'll see. We'll see there. That's the thing. These are the things that are going to start getting us the back of our minds of wanting to talk about these every week and get back to the weekly review show. But We'll see how it goes. We'll see
Everybody
what's going.
download this 20 times.
Yes.
Make it do
and
numbers.
then you'll end up like, oh my goodness, that'll tell us the deal. But with all of that, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for joining me. Luke, again, go to the Twitters at Weird Manga. Follow us, follow you back. Then go to our Patreon to help us out for what we do here on the feed, but also get early access to all the shows at patreon.com/aweirdScienceManga. But that's it,
Just
Luke.
that easy.
We'll be back next week. Do you know which one was the one we're doing next week? Do you know offhand of
Next
which one?
Next one, we're doing another Jump Plus joint. We're going to be doing the you and I are polar opposites. Jim.
You and I.
Oh my goodness!
It's just like they know me and you. Polar opposites. But that's what we'll be doing then. So everybody, thanks a lot for listening, and we'll talk to you later.
We are fighters, we fight until we win. The stairs are long, though, the breath of all that is and been. Ghost detective.